Hey everybody, welcome to Mountain Maid Creations. I'm Jill, and today we are going to be making a sign using some torch paste, and we're going to be making it on this wooden oar that came from Michales. If you're interested in purchasing these, if you think you might make several, I would buy in bulk. It's a whole lot cheaper. So let me share this out to my private group. If you're not in that group, you should go join it on Facebook, Jill's Creative Side, because we do drawings over there. I do special sales over there. It's just a fun little private group that I have. All right, so I'm hoping that my internet does okay, because it was acting weird a minute ago. So hopefully it's gonna be all right. Since I'm outside, it might lose connection. Anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this wooden oar from Michales. The only thing I've done to it is sanded it. I haven't stained it, sealed it, or anything. When you do wood burn, you don't want to put anything on the board that's has any chemicals on it, because it can react. So you don't want to do that. So what you need to do this with is you're gonna need a surface. I'm using torch paste. I know it's backwards. I wish Facebook would fix that. But torch paste. I have a little spatula thing to put it on. You're going to need a heat gun, and it needs to heat pretty high up, or it needs to be pretty hot to activate the torch paste. And I've made a stencil with the Ikonart system. It's a reusable mesh stencil. I like to use the mesh stencils when I'm using the torch paste. For me, it just applies easier. You can use Mylar if that's what you choose. So, and once I finish with this, I have a tub of water. I'm going to put that in. We're going to watercolor in the petals, and then we're going to stain it, and then let that dry overnight. And then tomorrow I'll seal it and put a bow on it, and it'll be done. So I'm going to move the table back a little bit so that my heat gun heats up more. So hang tight for a second. Hopefully I won't mess up the table or anything. Try not to pull the top off. I did that earlier when I was moving it. All right, so I hope you guys can see good. If you are on, let me know you're on. And I don't know if I can see comments or not, because sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. All right, so this is a mesh stencil, and it has a sticky side that's going to stick to the wood. And so it just has a clear backing. And I have a affiliate link with Ikonart if you want to check them out. Their system is really cool to make reusable mesh stencils. I find that I use more Mylar now than anything. So, but for the torch paste, I like to use the mesh stencils. It just applies easier, I think. But you can certainly use Mylar. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm just pushing this down, letting it stick to the wood, and then we're going to put on this torch paste. And then we're going to watercolor it. And you know what? I need to get another color, so I'll have to grab that real fast. All right, so, well, actually, I don't. All right, so this is what we have so far. And so I'm going to apply the torch paste, and you don't need to use a lot of torch paste. That's what it looks like. It doesn't take a lot at all to use. You actually don't want to use too much, because you just don't need it. So I just put a little bit on this little, I don't know what you call this thing, a spreader, and I'm just going to go over the stencil and get all the white covered with the orange. And you don't need to apply a whole lot of pressure, because it'll bleed some. And you want to be careful not to get it on your wood anywhere that you don't want a wood stain or wood burn, because if you get this on the wood, it's gonna burn it. But I love doing this. It's not something I do a lot of, but I really enjoy it, and I love the way it turns out. And I have a couple other signs that we're going to put some stain on over top of where I painted, and it's going to be so, I love the look of that too. You wouldn't think about putting wood stain over top of what you painted, but it really gives it a cool look. And I did one door hanger. I still haven't got the bow made. I'm going to get that bow made today though. I just got a little bit on the wood right there. I need to get that off. And if you get it on there, it will sand off. If you don't have too much on there, you can sand it off. So don't fear if you do get it on a part that you don't want to wood burn, it will come off. And yeah, this is just a really cool, I love wood burning. I think it gives it such a pretty look, especially if you watercolor it. I love that look. And these sunflowers, I've done this before, but not on a paddle or the wooden oar. And these come from Michales. I'm sure you can probably find them other places. But that's where I've been getting them. And if you buy in bulk, I think you can get like 9 or 6. It's cheaper than just buying one if you need more than one. What are you guys up to today? Usually I'm working my full-time job, but I took a couple days off, and it has been so nice crafting all day today. Just creating. I'm getting a lot done. We've got some shows coming up in September that I'm excited about. Fall shows are super fun. And I'm really looking forward to fall. It's just been so humid and hot. Even though I'm always cold, the humidity is awful. And I'm not putting any words on this one. I'm just going to do the sunflower and then probably a bow. The wood signs, I have done this on the square wooden signs, and they sell really good. Y'all hear my birds? I don't know what's got them wound up, but there's been a raccoon messing around that he might be over there. I don't know. But they're put up, so they're safe. I was going to let them out, but I was a little bit afraid to let them out with me doing a live. Wow. I don't know what in the world's got them wound up. So I'm just going over the design. I'm trying to get all the area filled in with the torch paste. And I've used this stencil a lot, and I may need to make a new one at some point, but you can use these over and over again. And it's really cool. It's kind of like screen print. It has like mesh in there, like a screen where the paint goes through. So, and it's an Ikonart system is what I use to make these with, and it's a really cool system. I think I may have done a video making a stencil. I'm not sure if I ever was able to do that or not, because you have to, it has to dry for overnight. Well, you don't have to let it dry overnight, but it's better if you can. All right. There's some places that it don't want to go through. There we go. I may have to put my glasses on to see this. But also, another thing is you don't want to let your paint or anything dry on the stencil, because if you do, it will ruin it. So I have a tub of water I'm going to put this in once I remove it. And That way it won't dry in there while I'm wood burning. And the wood burn does take a little bit, but it's so worth it. Now I'm gonna lift this up and take a look and make sure I have everything covered. Because you can see it pretty good when you take the stencil back, because it makes it a different color. And it looks like everything is good so far. All right, so that looks good. So I'm just going to soak that in the water. And now what we do is we just burn the wood with the heat gun. Okay, so this is what we have right now, and it's all going to be really dark once we get it burned. And I've not burned on one of these before, but it should do good because it's pine. And so I had a little bit right there, but I'll sand that off once it gets, once we start doing the wood burn on it. After we get done, I can try to sand that off a little bit. So I'm gonna take my heat gun and we're just gonna go over it without touching it. You don't want to touch the wood, but you want to keep it moving so it doesn't burn one spot. And so I know it's going to be kind of loud, but I'm just going to go over it. Let me see if I can put y'all down some. Hold on. All right, so now I'm just going to, whoa, sorry about that. We're just gonna go over it until it starts turning dark. And it'll take it a little bit, and it does put up some fumes. So if you do it inside, do it on like a concrete floor or somewhere ventilated. And you'll start seeing it turn. And you wanna hold it kind of close, but you don't wanna touch it. And you just keep it moving. And it takes a little bit, but it's so pretty when you get it done. And it'll turn dark. And it needs to be a pretty high temperature heat gun when you're doing this. And it'll take it a little bit. So this is a pretty good process. So this live will take a little bit, but it will be so worth it. You just want to keep it moving, but keep it kind of close, but just not touching the wood. And it'll start, you'll see it start getting dark. And you want to keep it moving, that way you don't burn your wood. And then start. Just keep it moving. It's been looking like rain all day today, but it hasn't rained yet, so that's a good thing. You definitely don't want to do this on wood that's been stained because it'll probably have some kind of chemical reaction. You don't want to do that. You need it on bare wood that hasn't had anything done to it. Like no stain or sealer on it. All I did to this one was sand it. And it's starting to turn a little bit now. Yeah, it's really starting to get darker now. I don't know if y'all can see that turning dark. It's really cool. Let me show you guys. You see how it's turning dark? Super cool, super cool. Once it starts turning, it really doesn't take a whole lot. It's kind of a long process, but it's not too bad. It's really worth it when you get done. So pretty. And I don't know if you guys use Mylar stencils, but Essential Stencil has just released their primitive bundle, and oh my gosh, y'all. It is so stinking cute. And if you use Create With Me 10, you can get 10% off. That's my code. I make a little bit of commission being an ambassador for them, but their stencils are really good quality. They last a long time. They have good products. And right now for July, it's free shipping. And they have some really neat stencils, and they just have a lot of stencils and transfers. There's a couple things I'm going to do with their transfers for Christmas. I haven't really seen any false transfers yet, or maybe I just missed them. You guys see how it's getting dark? Ah, it's going to be so pretty. And so far, it looks like my internet's working good. So far. Earlier it was acting weird. Now, we don't have cell signals up here where I live, so we are reliant on internet for everything. And I was out of range for the Wi-Fi, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, it takes a little bit to get all of it, but it's worth it. It's a cool way to wood burn with just a heat gun and some torch paste. And you can use Mylar stencils with the torch paste too. I just don't, or I haven't tried it yet, but you can. And these heat guns get really, really hot, so be careful if you're using it. Don't touch the end of it because it's going to be really hot. These almost look, I mean, even without watercolor in the petals, it's so pretty. Just leaving it wood burn. And I found a new wood stain that I'm loving. It's natural. Let's see. Special walnut. Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. By Michales. I've been using that for everything. Almost. We've got a little bit more to go. But it's coming right along now. And I'll probably let this cool for a few minutes and then wipe off any of the wood burn. It leaves like a substance on it. I'll get all that off and then we'll watercolor it. And I'll let that dry for a little bit and then we will stain it. So pretty, y'all. And I've got a bunch of different colors of yellow. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. But yeah, it's best to do this outside if you can, or in a well-ventilated room because it does put off some odor. What are y'all up to today? I'm sure everybody's probably working. It's odd for me to come live on a Tuesday, but I really wanted to do this today and I wanted to show you guys how to do it. So, well, let's do it. It's not as humid today as it has been, thank goodness. The weather's been super hot. Almost done. This design, this file of the sunflower has been one of my favorites. I've used it a bunch of different ways. But wood burning is just, I love it. Almost done. Couple little areas and then we'll be done. And again, you want to keep your heat gun moving so it doesn't burn your wood, like scorch it. We are done. It's looking like it's done. All right, y'all. Oh, look at that. How beautiful is that, you guys? I am loving this. So I'm gonna let this cool off for a minute. And I'm gonna try to get that spot off. I don't have my other sand. Let me grab a brush, a paintbrush, to brush that black, any kind of loose particles off, and then I'll grab my sanding block, and then we're gonna stain some other signs before we stain this. So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get that little bit of yellow right there off if I can. I don't know if it's gonna come off or not. I may have to actually burn it off. Burning my wood. All right, so I'm gonna let this cool off for a minute. Actually, it's kind of cool. And I'm just gonna take a dry paintbrush and just brush the any kind of black particles on here off, so it doesn't mess up the when we paint it, when we water color. Ooh, yep, that's pretty hot. So I'm gonna show you guys a couple things that we're gonna do as far as staining after we get done with this watercolor. I do have a little, there it is. So I think I'm gonna use, this says gold. It's just apple barrel paint. I'm gonna see what that looks like. And then we're gonna put some water in there and watercolor it on. And I'm just gonna use this kind of brush. I don't even know what number, Artist Loft is the name, and I think that came from Michales. Number 8. All right, so let's see what this paint looks like. So it doesn't take a whole lot, and then I'm just gonna put some water in it. And we're just gonna go ahead and wood stain it, because I think it's all right now. And so basically all I'm gonna do is just watercolor in the petals. I do like this color, it's really pretty. And watercolor is so forgiving, and I'm not a painter as far as freehand at all. I wish I could. And that's all I'm doing, is just painting inside the petals. And the fact that it's still some of the wood burn is mixing with the paint makes it look really cool. So I think that looks really neat. And it doesn't take long at all to paint this using watercolors because we're painting right over the lines. So it doesn't take any time at all to do this. And then when we put the stain on this, it's really going to be pretty. And it doesn't take long at all for this to dry. I didn't bring any brown out. I guess I should have brought some brown and maybe do the center of it. I think I'll grab some brown and do that too. It's so relaxing though doing this. Oh my goodness. It's my stress relief. Super easy, and the outcome is so pretty, you guys. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it's so forgiving. If you get it outside of the lines, it's perfectly okay. And I think I am going to grab a little bit of brown and do the center. These flies are trying to eat me up. I hear the hummingbirds. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go grab some brown, but this is what we have so far. And I think I'm gonna do the center. So y'all, how pretty is that? Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. All right, so let me go grab the brown real fast. Hang on. Okay, guys. This is called Nutmeg Brown. So we're gonna wash this, rinse this brush off a little bit. And then we're gonna do the center. And then we'll let that dry for a minute. And then we're gonna stain it, and it's gonna be so pretty, y'all. So I just put a little paint in here with some water, and that's basically it. And so we're just gonna go around the center. Doesn't take long at all. Okay. All right. That looks good. So we're going to let this dry. And then we're going to come and seal it. And while this is drying, I'm going to seal a couple other signs that I made today that are so cute, you guys. Oh my goodness. So yeah. Took a couple days off. And it has been an awesome day today. just creating. All right, so we're gonna let this, I don't know what in the world I got up there. We're gonna let this dry, and let me show you what we have. I'm gonna put down my box top for the stain. Let me show you what we've got. So the primitive look has really been popular so far. How cute is that, y'all? Oh my gosh, but you see how kind of bright white it is? It's actually ivory. This is the same. How stinking cute. This is more of the primitive look, and it's ivory. And I don't want it that bright, so we're gonna fix that. So I'm just gonna go so I've got the Minwax Special Walnut Wood Stain. Love it. And I'm just gonna go right over what I painted with the wood stain. I know that sounds completely nuts, but it really turns out pretty. And yeah, the first time I did it, I was scared to death. I was like, oh my God. So, where's my brush? This just might be my most favorite. I am loving this, y'all. Oh my goodness. All right, so all I'm gonna do is the wood stain, and I'm using cut up t-shirts to apply it with, and that works really good. I love how that looks. And we're just gonna put it on over top of the paint. Now I haven't sealed this yet, so I know y'all, bear with me. It's gonna be super pretty. But you definitely want to do the wood staining outside because it's got a serious smell to it. All right, y'all ready? Y'all are probably saying, she's crazy. And yeah, I am. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe it off with another piece of shirt. I need to go around the edges because you can see the really bright part of it. So I'm going to go around the edge. And I'm going to wipe it off. Sounds crazy, but it's so pretty. It just like tones down that bright paint. And it just kind of gives it, I don't know what the look is called, but it's so pretty, I think. See how it toned it down? Made it have this whole other look, I think. It looks so pretty. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then what I'll do is I'll seal it once it's dry, and then put a bow on it, and it'll be good to go. Okay, let's do this other one. Y'all, I am loving this so much. I gotta be careful with the red because the red sometimes tends to smear. So just gotta be careful with that. I really, really, really love how this looks. But I was scared to death the first time I tried to put stain over something I painted. I was like, oh my gosh. But it's such a cool look. All right, now let's wipe it off. So pretty, you guys. So pretty. I just love this so much. I think it might be because it's a bird. All right, you guys. Doesn't that make the biggest difference? Toning it down some. Oh my gosh, y'all. This is so, so pretty. So you guys let me know what you think of this technique. I just think it looks so pretty. So now what I'm gonna do is set this over here. And we're gonna do this. I think it's dry enough. Yeah, it's still hot. Well, I had it sit in the sun too, so. But we're gonna stain this, and I'm gonna stain it front and back since I have not stained it yet. I'm gonna go ahead and do the back first. This is natural or special walnut. I love this stain, y'all. It's so pretty. Such a pretty stain. It's my favorite one, I think. There's another stain called dark walnut that's really pretty, but it's pretty dark. But it's pretty, really pretty. All right, so there's the back. Now I'll do the front. And this will be ready for some sealer. I'm gonna let this dry overnight. I don't know what those spots are. You know what? I wonder if that's from when I was sanding these, it started to rain. And I bet you that's what that is. Look at that. Ah, that makes me so mad. It's like the spots of where the raindrops hit it. Ugh. That really irritates me, y'all. I didn't even see that until I put the stain on it. Well, we may have to try again on this. It was really pretty until those drops came out. But you get the gist of it. So, yeah, that's a fail for this one. Oh, that's so aggravating, you guys. So anyway, that's what that's from. When I sanded it, we were out here and it started raining a little bit. And before I could move it, drops hit it. And I wiped it off and I thought it was fine, but you see it's not. So anyway, that's the way it goes, I guess. so frustrating. So anyway, that's the wood stain project. So what do you guys think? I think it turned out, other than those wood drops, which is very annoying. But that's what happens sometimes. So we'll try again. I'm out of, the only other paddles that I have are stained already. So yeah, that's frustrating. So anyway, that's what it would look like. It would look very pretty before those drops showed up. So that's exactly what it is from where the rain hit it. But anyway, you get the gist of what it would look like. It would be so pretty without those drops. Anywho. Oh well, that's the way it goes. So I'm going to leave these stained items to dry. Y'all, this one is so pretty. I am loving this, you guys. The primitive is so cool. And that new bundle that Essential Stencil just put out is primitive, and it is super cute. So anyway, you guys, that is it for today. That frustrates me about those water drops, but you know what? It is what it is. Hang on a minute. So we're going to end it with a devotional. I'm going to try not to be too discouraged over that, but it does make me mad. Anyway, you got to see how it's done. Okay, so this is a devotional called, a book called God's Way Day by Day by Charles Stanley. This book is super old. I don't even know where I got it from now, but so today is the 21st. No, today's the 22nd. Good grief, y'all. Where's the time gone? All right, so today's devotion, it says, simply trusting. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. Oh my God, I trust in you. Psalms 25, 1 through 2. We are called by God to trust him and him alone, to meet our needs and to be our total source of supply. Furthermore, God requires that we obey him as part of our trusting him. We have the situation completely backward anytime we start expecting God to trust us, to know what is right, and to obey our commands so that he might prove his love for us. Our position is one of standing before God, declaring, I trust you completely to meet my needs in your timing and according to your methods. Anyone who takes the stance before Almighty God, you must do things my way, is presumptuous and foolish. So, yep, we got to go on God's way, because that is the way. That's the best way to go. He is not going to lead us astray. So, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this live. I hope that it helped you. If you try it, I would love to see what you're making. Just post it and let me see. These things I'm going to let dry. Again, I am really not happy about that water drops on there, but I can't do much about it. Anyway, it would have been beautiful without that. So anyway, we will try again. That's what we do in crafting. So we got two cute pieces that we did painted, and then we stained over top of the paint. So I love that. I love how that looks. So any questions at all, you guys, just comment below. I'll get back to you if I'm not seeing comments. Sometimes that's the way Facebook is. So anyways, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of your week. I may hop on tomorrow. I'm not sure because I took tomorrow off too, so I'll be making more stuff. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Y'all take care.